Oh, look who it is. How you doing? Erik Darling here with Darling Data, and we are going to embark on an office hours adventure for this video. I hope that you find it enjoyable. If you want to ask questions that I answer on these things, there's a link here that allows you to do that. It's a wonderful deal. You get to submit a question for free. I get to answer it for free, and I don't know. I guess that's about the end of it. If you want to support this channel, you can sign up for a membership for as low as $4 a month. You can do that down in the old video description. Otherwise, you can just sit there and get it all for as much as it costs you to, I don't know, have the internet, pay for electricity, all that other stuff that kind of goes along with watching things online. If you need SQL Server consulting help, I have, of course, am the best in the world at all of these things, outside of New Zealand, of course. The lawyers make me say that every time. And as always, my rates are reasonable. If you would like to get my performance tuning training, there's all 24 hours of it available to you via the Everything Bundle, which is everything that I've done about performance tuning. And you can get that for about 150 USD, and that'll last you for the rest of your life. So, you know, it's kind of a good one-time purchase there. Again, as we get into these summer months when you want to just lock yourself in a room with an air conditioner and not deal with anything, well, what better way to do that than get some SQL Server performance training while you're at it? Who needs music and movies and whatnot? Joy. Get better at databases. All right, my new T-SQL course. All 23 hours of the beginner content is out there and available. It is currently $250 on the pre-sale price. It will double in value to $500 when the advanced material is done after the summer. I will also be leaving the house a lot this summer. I will be leaving my pleasant air-conditioned life, and I will be traveling to the faraway land of New York City, August 18th and 19th, for the Pass on Tour series of events. Also going to Dallas, which hopefully is air conditioned, even though it's all September in Texas. Yeah, that's a thing. September 15th and 16th. The Hamlet of Utrecht in the Netherlands, October 1st and 2nd. And of course, Pass Data Community Summit in Seattle, November 17th to 21st. All good things coming up over the summer and fall months. But with that out of the way, let's do some office hoursing here. All right, we have some questions. We have some very important questions to answer. I know using max for columns has downsides, but what about 4,000, 8,000? I assume you mean in varchar 4,000 and varchar 8,000. Yeah, of course there are downsides. I mean, you know, your developers get to be lazy and, you know, perhaps not deal with truncation errors when they insert, like, you know, their dirty data sources into your beautiful database. But you know, you also run into some stuff too where you know you can't have those columns in the key of an index, which might be important at some point. You know, when you select data out of that table, if if there's any memory grant, it will be inflated by those much larger string columns. So I can't really, you know, and this isn't me being like a disk cheapskate, being like, disk is expensive, you should always use the right data type because disk space, blah 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 blah. This is like practical performance stuff. Like don't do it. Still a bad idea. Don't hose yourself with overly long string columns because they can come back to bite you in many ways. All right. Oh, here's an interesting question. What is the hardest subject to teach people about? Oh, without a doubt, it is isolation levels. That is the toughest material to teach people about because almost no one is approaching it mentally from the right perspective. And they often come with a lot of preconceived notions about isolation levels that require unteaching before you can actually apply any new teaching. There's a lot of really bad blog content out there about especially row versioning isolation levels that should be thrown in the dumpster and set ablaze, but you know, that'll be the day. All right. Have you ever had a consulting engagement not go well? What happened? So yeah, of course, not all of them are as successful as some of the others. I think what ultimately makes a consulting engagement unsuccessful is when someone needs help but is not ready to get help. It's sort of like, you go in there and you can give them the analysis and you can give them the stuff to do and you can show them like, hey, if we change this query to do this, this will get better. If we change this index to do this, like you can show them like real proof that this stuff happens, but like they might not follow through on anything, right? Like they just might not end up doing anything. And like they'll still like hit you up later and be like, hey, we're still having problems, and you go look and just like nothing's been done. And like, it's frustrating for you because you're giving these people everything, all the tools that they need to solve problems and be successful and like get things done, but there's just no follow through. There's no willingness to actually make changes. And when you ask them why, it's just, oh, we haven't gotten to it yet. Oh, we were afraid about this. Oh, blah, 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 blah. There's a list of excuses. So, those are the toughest sort of things to deal with is, like people whose servers are just in bad shape, but there's just no one willing to sort of take responsibility for it, actually like go through and do stuff. And when you're like, well, is there anything you want me to do? And they're like, well, I don't know, we'll see. Like, it just hems and haws and like the bucket gets kicked. So those are probably the worst ones. All right, let's see here. I get really frustrated while tuning queries because a technique that worked one time won't work another time. Does that happen to you? How do you deal with it? Well, yeah, of course it happens to me. You build up this bag of tricks and knowledge and stuff over the years, and something that works beautifully to tune up one query has no effect on another query, or maybe has an opposite effect, an opposing effect on a query that you're working with. I think the trick is that as you like every change is feedback, right? So don't like yes, it can be frustrating, but like ultimately it's kind of like what you make of it. So like if you try something and it doesn't work, that's a data point, right? That's you figuring out, oh, like when I do this, like, this didn't get the right change, or like this didn't change the plan the way I thought it would. Like what do I need to do next to try and like get past that? And like as you go through that process more and more, it'll happen less and less. So as you sort of expose yourself more to times when something doesn't work, you start to understand when it doesn't work and why it doesn't work, and you start to sort of like not try it out when you recognize that those circumstances are cropping up again. So like it'll happen to you less. It'll still happen. It still happens to me where I'm like, well, I don't know, with some examples, doing like a like there are a few things where I like things that I'm like, oh well, this would probably be a meaningful change, like changing like the left join with a null check to not exists, or sometimes doing like introducing a top into something to get a row goal, or sometimes using like cross apply when I'm generating a row number rather than like joining to like a whole like derived join, introducing batch mode, like stuff that like usually has like a fairly quick and obvious performance win as a feedback mechanism. Sometimes you try it and you're like, oh well, that didn't go the way I thought this time. You kind of go back to the drawing board. But again, the more you do that kind of work, the more you can sometimes recognize like the situation that like made it unsuccessful and kind of skip over that. Or I don't know, maybe just try it, but be a little bit more prepared for failure. I don't know. That's another good thing to master, is being prepared for something to not work out, right? Because sometimes things don't work out. Speaking of not working out, there we go. Wow. Do you ever want to get out of tech and working with databases? Yeah, of course. I mean, as much as I enjoy it, it's hard to imagine doing this at like 70, 80 or something. Like that'd be kind of wild. But like if I got out of tech and working with databases, I think what I would love, even though I realize it's not a money printing machine, I would love to own a gym. Just like real basic barbell equipment, not a single Nautilus thing, no leg press, no leg extensions, none of like the goofy stuff that I hate. Like when I go to a gym, just like barbells, squat racks, benches, you know, limited set of dumbbells, and just no real nonsense would be my take on it. So maybe someday, who knows? Anyway, that is 5 questions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We did it. We made it through. We didn't swear. We didn't curse. Congratulations. We did a great job on that. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. I hope you learned something. I will see you in tomorrow's video, which I think will be something T-SQL-y, but who knows? All right. Thank you for watching.